Conan Christopher O'Brien, born April 18, 1963, is an American television host, comedian, writer, and producer. He is best known for having hosted late-night talk shows for almost 28 years, beginning with Late Night with Conan O'Brien, 1993 to 2009, and The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien, 2009 to 2010, on the NBC television network, and Conan, 2010 to 2021, on the cable channel TBS. Before his hosting career, O'Brien was a writer for the NBC sketch comedy series Saturday Night Live from 1988 to 1991. And the Fox animated sitcom The Simpsons from 1991 to 1993. He has also been host of the podcast series Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend since 2018 and is set to launch a travel show, Conan O'Brien Must Go. On Max, born in Brookline, Massachusetts, O'Brien was raised in an Irish Catholic family. He served as president of the Harvard Lampoon while attending Harvard University, and was a writer for the sketch comedy series Not Necessarily the News. After writing for several comedy shows in Los Angeles, he joined the writing staff of Saturday Night Live. O'Brien was a writer and producer for The Simpsons for 2 seasons until he was selected by Lorne Michaels and NBC to take over David Letterman's position as host of Late Night in 1993. Despite unfavorable reviews and threats of cancellation in the show's first years, O'Brien and the show developed and became highly regarded, earning a Primetime Emmy Award for outstanding writing for a variety series. He hosted Late Night for 16 years, and as of 2023 is still the longest-serving host in the history of the franchise. In 2009, O'Brien moved from New York to Los Angeles to host his own incarnation of The Tonight Show for 7 months until highly publicized network politics prompted a host change in 2010. After this departure, O'Brien hosted a 32-city live comedy tour titled The Legally Prohibited from Being Funny on Television Tour, which was the subject of the documentary Conan O'Brien Can't Stop, 2011. He then hosted Conan from 2010 to 2021. Throughout his career, he has also hosted a number of awards shows and television specials, including the Emmy Awards in 2002 and 2006 and the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 1995 and 2013. Conan was named one of Time's 100 most influential people in 2010, known for his spontaneous hosting style, which has been characterized by the New York Times as awkward, self-deprecating humor. O'Brien's late-night programs combine the lewd and wacky with more elegant, narrative-driven short films. His segments outside the studio, dubbed remotes, have also become some of his best-received work, including the international travel series Conan Without Borders. With the retirement of David Letterman on May 20, 2015, O'Brien became the longest-working late-night talk show host active in the United States. This active streak ended with O'Brien's retirement from late-night television in June 2021. With his entire run as a late-night host lasting almost 28 years, O'Brien was born on April 18, 1963, in Brookline, Massachusetts. His father, Thomas Francis O'Brien, born in 1929, is a physician and professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School where he specializes in epidemiology. His mother, Ruth O'Brien, née Reardon, born in 1931, is a retired attorney and former partner at the Boston firm Ropes Gray. O'Brien has 3 brothers and 2 sisters. O'Brien attended Brookline High School, where he served as the managing editor of the school newspaper, then called the Sagamore. He was a congressional intern for Congressman Robert Drinan and Barney Frank, and in his senior year won the National Council of Teachers of English Writing contest with his short story, To Bury the Living. After graduating as valedictorian in 1981, O'Brien entered Harvard University. He lived in Holworthy Hall during his first year with future businessman Luis Ubiñas and 2 other roommates, and in Mather House during his 3 upper-class years. He majored in history literature, and graduated magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Arts degree in 1985. O'Brien's senior thesis, entitled Literary Progeria in the Works of William Faulkner and Flannery O'Connor, concerned the use of children as symbols in the works of William Faulkner and Flannery O'Connor. During college, O'Brien briefly played drums in a band called the Bad Clams and was a writer for the Harvard Lampoon humor magazine. During his sophomore and junior years, he served as the Lampoon's president. At this time, O'Brien's future boss at NBC, Jeff Zucker, was serving as president of the school newspaper the Harvard Crimson. O'Brien is the distant cousin of Bill O'Brien on their father's side. O'Brien met Elizabeth and Liza Powell in 2000, when, as a senior copywriter for the advertising agency Foot, Cone Belding, she appeared in a skit on Late Night with Conan O'Brien in which O'Brien sought to craft a more effective TV commercial for Hilton Furniture, a store in Houston, where O'Brien's show was only broadcast at 3 a.m. The couple dated for nearly 18 months before their 2002 marriage in Powell's hometown of Seattle. O'Brien and Powell have a daughter, Neve, born 2003, and a son, Beckett, born 2005. O'Brien often affirms his Irish Catholic heritage. On a 2009 episode of Inside the Actor's Studio, he stated that ancestors from both sides of his family moved to America from Ireland starting in the 1850s, subsequently marrying only other Irish Catholics, and that his lineage is thus 100% Irish Catholic. His entirely homogeneous ancestry was confirmed via DNA test a decade later, which he shared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. O'Brien noted that being entirely descended from just one ethnic group is extremely rare, and that his being so shocked his doctor. He has been a registered Democrat since casting his first vote for president in 1984 for Walter Mondale. He considers himself a moderate on the political spectrum. O'Brien founded the anti-hunger organization Labels Are for Jars with his friend and former Harvard dorm mate Father Paul B. O'Brien. He also helped open the COR Una Meal Center in Lawrence, Massachusetts in 2006. Starting in September 2006, O'Brien was stalked by Father David Agemian of the Archdiocese of Boston. Despite multiple warnings to stop, sent O'Brien letters signed as "Your Priest Stalker." Agemian later sent O'Brien death threats and tried to forcefully enter a taping of Late Night before being arrested. On April 8, 2008, Agemian pleaded guilty to stalking and was later laicized in January 2008 after his show was put on hold for 2 months owing to the strike by the Writers Guild of America. He re-emerged on late night TV sporting a beard, which guest Tom Brokaw described as making him look like a draft dodger from the Civil War. After leaving The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien in 2010, O'Brien again grew a beard, which he kept until May 2011, when it was partially shaved on the set of Conan by Will Ferrell, and completely shaved off-screen by a professional barber. O'Brien purchased a $10.5 million mansion in Brentwood, Los Angeles, California, to prepare for his move there in 2009 from New York City to host The Tonight Show at Universal Studios Hollywood. As part of a long-running gag, he brought his 1992 Ford Taurus SHO with him to California, showcasing it on both the inaugural episodes of The Tonight Show and Conan. O'Brien purchased an oceanfront house in Carpinteria, California in 2016. He listed the house for sale for $16.5 million in July 2022. On June 12, 2011, O'Brien was awarded an honorary Doctor of Arts degree from Dartmouth College. In addition to the honorary degree, he delivered the commencement speech. On October 21, 2011, O'Brien was ordained as a minister by the Universal Life Church Monastery, allowing him to perform a same-sex marriage while back in New York, then one of the few states in the U.S. where gay marriage was legal, to tape a week's worth of shows. The wedding, between a member of O'Brien's staff and his partner, was held on the stage of the Beacon Theater on November 3, 2011, and broadcast on Conan. The same-sex marriage ceremony was the first to be broadcast on American late-night television.